Pretty much everyone knows that Payday 2 has a lot of DLCs. The game is practically infamous for just how many there are and how much it all costs, but it's not exactly too surprising, as it's the way the game's been able to be supported for the past 10 years. There is a slight issue of how DLCs are handled though, in the sense that you get a lot more variety out of builds of them. A lot of people will often buy the game when it goes on sale for extremely cheap and won't buy the DLCs, and as a result of it, they won't be able to get some of the strongest builds the game has to offer. However, not all is doom and gloom for non-DLC players. Quite a few of the game's strongest perk decks are actually free, such as Hacker, Leech, and Stoic, and it's not actually too difficult to build around the restrictions given by not having any DLC for your weapons, which is why I've put this video together. 3 non-DLC builds, all built for Death Sentence 1 down. Before we get into the builds though, I just want to quickly bring up that only about 16% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. I know it's annoying to get this brought up, but you know, if you like these videos, please subscribe. I'm going to make more, and it really does help me out if you subscribe. So, if you're wanting to break into banks without actually breaking the bank yourself, I've got some builds for you. The first build I've got uses Hacker. I've already made a whole video about the player deck, so I'll try and be quick in my explanation about it so I'm not repeating myself too much. If you want to watch the video about it though, I'll link it in the description. To be quick about it, Hacker gives you increased health and dodge chance and replaces your throwable with 2 pocket ECMs. Activating the pocket ECM will activate a stunning effect. Killing while it's active will restore health and give you an increased dodge chance, with kills made reducing the 100-second cooldown of the pocket ECM by 6 seconds. In terms of weaponry, I've decided to go with the AMR-16 and the 5.7 AP, as the AMR is a very powerful battle rifle, boasting a very impressive rate of fire, and the 5.7 working as an excellent shield counter, with both of them not being locked behind any DLC, of course. On the AMR, we modify it with the long barrel, the bigger the better suppressor, stability boost, the blast from the past handguard, LED combo, Pro Grip, Tactical Mag, Surgeon Sight, and the Exotic Receiver. Something worth noting is that the LED combo is listed as a Butcher mod pack item, but this mod pack is free, so you can use it without any DLC. On the 5.7, we modify it with the Tin Treated Barrel, Champion Suppressor, Concealment Boost, Micro Laser, and the Extended Magazine. For skills, we get first aid kits up to Inspire Basic. As with our weapons and Hacker, it's pretty easy to go in for manual revives, and it saves us points by not getting it aced. 2 Jokers up to Hostage Taker Ace to increase our health and give us passive health regen, Resilience Ace to make flashbangs less annoying, Die Hard Basic to decrease damage while we're interacting, Bullseye Basic for armor gating, Scavenger Basic for further range and ammo pickups, Harder Expert Basic for faster draw repair times, Steady Grip Ace for increased accuracy and stability, Fire Control Basic for increased hip firing accuracy, Surefire Ace for more bullets in the magazine and armor piercing, Lock and Load Ace for faster reloads, Duck and Cover Ace for the increased dodge chance, Second Wind Basic, Optical Illusions Ace for increased concealment, the Professional Ace for more accuracy and stability, Low Blow Ace for crits, Unseen Strike Basic for more crits, Equilibrium Basic for faster swap times on the 5.7, and 9 Lives Ace for the extra down. If you're comfortable enough with the build to not need 9 lives, you can put it into Body Expertise Basic, just for the extra damage on body shots. We use the 2-piece suit for its concealment and dodge chance, and the Electric Brass Knuckles for its stun. Despite being held back with the lack of DLC modifications, this build is still really strong. The high rate of fire on the AMR lets you get a ton of kills during the pocket ECM's feedback effect, as well as generally just play very aggressively, and you can still quickly swap to the 5.7 if there's ever a shield in your way. I'd recommend learning how to keep accurate and fire and bursts on the AMR though. It's very easy to run dry on it if you're consistently missing your shots. If you can learn that though, you're in for a really fun time with it. Now, the second build uses Leech. Leech is a pretty complex deck purely from how many features it has, but to try and be concise about it, Leech gives you increased health and replaces your throwable with the Leech Ampule. Activating the Leech Ampule will divide your health into chunks of 10, restore 40% of your health, and disable your armor for 10 seconds. While the Ampule is active, you cannot go into bleed out, but going to 0 chunks of health will reduce your movement speed by 80%. Every 2 kills you make will restore a chunk of health and will block incoming damage for 1 second. Getting a hit while the Ampule is active will also heal your teammates for 5% of their health. You can also temporarily revive yourself by activating the Ampule while you're downed, and can avoid going back down by either using a medic bag or successfully reviving a teammate, with kills made reducing the 30-second cooldown of the Ampule by 1 second. In a less technical explanation, basically just activate the Ampule and you can't die for a few seconds. For weapons on Leech, I decided to go with the Platypus 70 and the Krinkov, as the Platypus is the only sniper rifle usable without any DLC, and the Krinkov is an incredibly reliable high damage SMG to work as a dozer counter, as snipers struggle against them. On the Platypus 70, we modify it with the Beak Suppressor, Total Armor Boost, LED Combo, and the Surgeon Sight. On the Krinkov, we modify it with the Bigger the Better Suppressor, Accuracy Boost, Moscow Special Rail, LED Combo, Surgeon Sight, and the Wooden Sniper Stock. For skills, we get first aid kits up to Inspire Aced, Jokers up to Hostage Taker Ace for health regen, Stable Shot Aced, Ammo Efficiency Basic, Aggressive Reload Ace for faster reloads, but it's also worth noting that the reload boost increase isn't specifically limited to the weapon that activates it, so you can hit a headshot on the Platypus, then swap to the Krinkov with the faster reload. Graze Ace is to make snipers extremely powerful, Resilience Ace to make flashbangs less annoying, Die Hard Basic to decrease damage while we're interacting, Bullseye Basic for armor gating, Scavenger Basic for further range and ammo pickups, Hardware Expert Basic for faster drill repair times, Steady Grip Ace for increased accuracy and stability, Lock and Load Basic for hip firing, Duck and Cover Basic for improved mobility, Second Wind Basic, Optical Illusions Basic for decreased targeting chance, the Professional Ace for more accuracy and stability, and 9 lives aced. We use the Heavy Ballistic Vest for its 2-shot armor against light units, and the Electric Brass Knuckles for its stun. This is a very solid build. There isn't really anything major you miss out on without any DLC modifications aside from more accuracy and a speed pull magazine on the Krinkov. Still, it's very easy to clean house as snipers are extremely powerful with Graze, and with Leech you can just become unkillable for a few seconds. The only real weakness this build has is that it doesn't have crits, so when the game decides to throw like 6 bulldozers at you, you'll run low on ammo for the Krinkov pretty quickly. But play smart around them and be able to reposition yourself if things get too hairy, and you'll be fine. The third and final build uses Stoic, and compared to Leech, it's much easier to understand. With Stoic, all of your armor is converted into additional health, and your throwable is replaced by the hip flask. Whenever you take damage, you only take 25% of the damage up front, and the remaining 75% is dealt over a 12-second time period. But if you use the hip flask, or wait 4 seconds without taking any damage, you will clear the impending damage and heal 50% of whatever the impending damage was. Kills made will reduce the 10-second cooldown of the hip flask by 1 second, but if your health is under 35%, it reduces it by 2 seconds. For our weapons of choice on Stoic, I decided to go with the old reliable LMG and grenade launcher combo, using the KSP-58 and the compact 40mm, mostly because the KSP is the only non-DLC LMG. On the KSP-58, we modify it with the bigger the better suppressor, Lion's bipod, stability boost, LED combo, and the plastic stock. On the compact 40mm, we modify it with the accuracy boost and the LED combo. For skills, we get first aid kits up to Inspire Basic, as with Stoic you can pretty much tank anything that comes your way. 2 Jokers up to Hostage Taker Aced, especially because the deck gets rid of your armor, so having increased health and the passive regen really helps. Stable Shot Basic for more stability, Resilience Ace to counter flashbangs, Die Hard Ace for the damage reduction as well as the increased armor, Transporter Aced, as the movement penalty reduction still applies, as it reads the armor value before it gets converted into health, Iron Man Basic for more armor and by extension more health, Scavenger Basic for the increased ammo pickup range, Hardware Expert Basic for faster drill repair times, Steady Grip Ace for increased accuracy and stability, Lock and Load Ace for faster reloads and hip firing, Surefire Ace for armor piercing, Duck and Cover Basic for better mobility, Second Wind Basic, the Professional Ace for more accuracy and stability, High Value Target for more damage against specials, especially useful against dozers, Unseen Strike Basic for crits, which really helps boost the DPS of the KSP-58, and 9 lives Ace for the extra down. If you're comfortable enough with the build to not need 9 lives aced, you can put it into Body Expertise Basic for the extra damage on body shots, since it's pretty tough to aim with LMGs. We used the Heavy Ballistic Vest for the increased armor, as well as keeping a decent amount of mobility, and the Electric Brass Knuckles for its stun. What I didn't realise, but is quite nice, is that both Unseen Strike and Stoic use the 4 seconds without taking any damage timer, so if you negate impending damage by waiting it out, most of the time you have crits ready, which really helps boost the build's DPS. Stoic, LMGs and crits are pretty strong on their own, using them all together and boom, you've got a build that can practically survive anything you throw at it. Playing without DLC in Payday 2 can seem quite restrictive, especially when playing on the higher difficulties the game has to offer, but with these builds I found I was pretty easily able to play comfortably on Death Sentence, getting no down runs for Heat Street with a hacker build, Brooklyn Bank with the Leech build, and Reservoir Dogs with Stoic. I hope you enjoy these builds and find them fun to play with. As usual, I've been Cookie Dough, and have a good one.